Hong Kong police have arrested 5 senior figures from the pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily, including the 3 top editorial staff under security laws imposed by Beijing. Now, the 5 include the editor-in-chief, Ryan Law. They were detained in a dawn raid on the offices of the paper, which has opposed China's tightening grip on Hong Kong. Police say they're suspected of colluding with foreign powers to endanger national security. They saw their computers and mobile phones seized, along with more than $2 million worth of Apple Daily's assets. The owner of the newspaper, Jimmy Lai, has already been put on trial over similar accusations, which could carry a life term. Our reporter Danny Vincent is right inside the Apple Daily building in Hong Kong. Here he is talking about the paper's owner.
Last year, Jimmy Lai was paraded through these newsrooms when he was arrested, actually at home, but then taken back to this building. He's currently facing time in prison for another charge, but he's also facing national security law charges. These are the same laws that the authorities, the police, say they suspect that the executives, the editors that were arrested today, they suspect they also violated. This law is almost a year old. When it was first introduced, the authorities said that it would only affect a small number of people. Some say it was designed to try to end the protest movement, the 2019 protest movement, which saw back-to-back protests for almost a year in Hong Kong. But today, I think journalists will feel that it's not just a pro-democracy movement that has been under attack. They fear that press freedom and journalism itself is now being targeted.
Danny Vincent there inside the offices of Apple Daily. Let's talk to Finn Lau, a Hong Kong pro-democracy activist now living in exile here in the UK. Finn, thanks for joining us. Your reaction to what happened today at the Apple Daily offices?
So today, I would say the raid or storming of Apple Daily office and the arrest of the 5 executives, I key message that the journalism is a threat to the so-called national security in the city. So the freedom of the press, of the speech are all gone in Hong Kong now.
Do you believe that they did break national security law, though?
No, I don't think they have broken any so-called national security law. And I would say that this is likely a response to the G7 latest statement on Hong Kong and East Turkestan by the CCP. Because 2 days ago, the G7 has issued a statement on that. And the Beijing government, they are trying to gamble over the Hong Kong issues. They are betting that the democratic country, especially the G7, will not take any actions except issuing joint statements. So I think it's time for the G7 to prove the CCP is wrong and overconfident.
Well, let's bring our viewers the view of the authorities. Hong Kong Secretary for Security John Lee says there's a conspiracy by these journalists. He's accused the suspects of working with third parties to try and destabilise Hong Kong. Have a listen.
We are talking about a conspiracy in which the suspects try to make use of journalistic work to collude with a foreign country or external elements to impose sanctions or take hostile activities against Hong Kong and PRC.
Finn, John Lee also says that proper journalistic work can continue to take place freely and lawfully, he says. Is that in any way the case now?
No, I don't think this is the case. This is the same jargon or wording that would be used by the Beijing government in mainland China. So we can see that in the past or in the last few months, the BBC journalist has been need to relocate to Taiwan because of the threat to journalism. The same has happened to Australian journalists in mainland China. So the same is happening again in Hong Kong.
Can you go back to Hong Kong, do you believe?
No, I don't think I could go back to Hong Kong. Actually, I'm one of the several Hong Kong activists in exile wanted under the same draconian law. And I was also one of the 10,000 arrestees of the Hong Kong pro-democracy movement.
What are you asking the international community to do now?
So I think it's time for the G7 and the international community to impose collective, strong sanction against the CCP. This is the only way to deter the expansion of the aggressive behavior of the CCP.
Without editors, without money or support, Apple Daily, which is such a symbol of the opposition in Hong Kong, is going to really struggle to survive. How does the opposition now take some kind of form in Hong Kong when papers like this are being shut down, essentially?
Yeah, so the news that the assets of Apple Daily have been frozen makes many people, including myself, very worrying whether they could survive today or tomorrow, because they are trying to stop them from paying the journalists or employees. We are not sure whether they could survive today or tomorrow.
Fan Lau, thank you very
It could
much
be
for
the
joining.
end.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And I should just say we have had some comment through from the Foreign Minister of the UK, Dominic Raab, who has said that what happened today at Apple Daily showed that China is using this new national security law to target dissent rather than deal with public security. That's the comment he has just made in the past few minutes or so.